Hello and welcome to the War Report. I'm your host, Cyrus, joined by a very special guest, A Division Special
Oh,
Officer J5.
oh, geez. I mean, after watching this Dynamite show, I don't feel like that. But yeah, it's me.
Yeah, we don't feel like specialists. Um, Quan, as you heard, we're on Operation Freaky Friday, where we're just swapping some people around. Honestly, I wish we did this around Halloween. I mean, not Halloween, April Fools when this was originally pitched. But Mania was just way too much. Busiest time of year for all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was way too busy. I mean, we just had so much stuff that was going on, but this is the perfect time. I actually couldn't do the A show this week, and we just like, let's just do it this week. And luckily that I feel like this week we got a interesting show, and we got a show where I'm just like, y'all do know that like there's some big things happening in your company in a couple weeks. But yeah, we some interesting shows this week.
Yeah, I feel like on both ends of the shows, uh, it's weird. I can't say that I'm necessarily enjoying it too much. Like obviously we're gonna talk about it. I do think that NXT took like small steps in the right direction, like a little bit of course correcting. But with Dynamite, is this is this vibes?
I honestly, with this Dynamite show, and I don't say this, or I say this with the utmost amount. Like, I'm not being facetious. I've lived through these eras. This was like 2013, 2014 WWE. Like this was the pits. Like this kind of crazy. Like it feels as though this company or whoever's booking it is just creatively bankrupt, and just the amount of people that just aren't there. And we'll talk about that later on the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know, I was about to say outside of like the Jade match, there was like no Outcast, no women stuff. I'm
There was
looking
no
at
women. There was no women. There was no Keith Lee. There was no Swerve. There was no
Mhm.
programs that they've been building up. But only had the Bucks at the end. Barely any MJF, and when he was there, he was pretty fucking annoying on commentary.
Yeah.
It was centered around how many people would you say this week? 10 people, maybe 12 people this week, and a return. So now there's one more or a debut. Now there's one more person that's added to this fucking suit.
Yeah. And it's not really merging all that well together. But before we get into that, how you doing, man? A little gotta warm you up before we go into the trenches.
Oh, I'm already warm. I'm warmed up already.
Okay.
I'm coming in hot. I'm coming right off of Blackprint Radio. So you go from one thing to the next. I'm switching up
Yeah.
topics like it ain't nothing.
An insane individual here. Uh
I'm
so
not burnt out. I don't get burnt out, motherfucker.
oh shit, better than me.
I'm John Moxley. I'm the John Moxley podcasting. Yeah.
Except that nigga's totally burnt the fuck out.
I'm
Well, he's
bleeding
phoning
right
it in.
now.
He's phoning it in at this point. But let's get into these trenches, man. On Monday, we got some very funny news. Um, right before Monday Night Raw, we get word that CM Punk is hanging out in the building, and then
Mhm.
was eventually asked to leave. But what do you make of Punk just showing up, saying hi to people, quote unquote, making amends that talking to all the people, that he was basically talking shit about while he was away.
I I'm I shudder to think that Punk may have turned a new leaf because I wanted to believe he turned a new leaf before he went to AEW. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being that. And I don't put all of that on him. And then maybe I put a little bit of brawl out on him. But I think him going to WWE Raw is a huge step in some type of direction, wouldn't you say? Like it's a huge step in some type of direction in him making amends and finally kind of, you know, I don't know if you're repairing those bridges. Those bridges are nuclear bombed. You know what I'm saying? There are no bridges. At this point, you're building them. So like it's not like he's like trying to repair these bridges or whatever, but it's been rumored or it's been said by multiple people and multiple sources. He spoke with Paul Levesque, and he
Mm-hmm.
spoke with the Miz, but he was flying into Chicago, and there were a bunch of WWE wrestlers on the flight. You saw him talking to Tamina. So there's clearly a lot of people there that are like, would you say, or do you think they were kind of pushing him like, hey, come say hi to Triple H? Like, come. Do you feel like the wrestlers were like, squash this?
I definitely feel like it's just one of those things where it's just like, well, whenever I see like a former employee of the museum that I work at, and it's just like, hey, just come through. We got some new shit. Mm-hmm. We got a new exhibition for y'all to look at. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, I'll see what they do. I think they were just being cordial and just being like, it's not like the same place that you were. Just being like, not really like squashing shit, but it's just like, see this shit for yourself.
But you know what? And you know what I feel like Punk might have seen, or he may see there? I think
smiling.
I think he sees the young talent there. And I think he sees young talent there that actually would look at him as a locker room leader. And I think that's something that was missing in AEW, is that people don't listen to him. And
they don't listen to anybody, apparently.
Yeah, and with WWE, they listen to legends. There is a plethora of legends back there that they listen to, and they produce their matches and they produce their segments and help them with their promos. You got Edge, you got all those people, and they listen to them. And Punk to them are superheroes. Who was there on Monday night, Cyrus? And this actually ties in to what we talk about on this show on the War Report. Cora Jade was there on Monday, and Cora Jade is actually friends with AJ Lee and Punk. You know what I mean? Like those are her two mentors, and I think that's a big moment to see, for Punk to see that they're doing her right. You know what I mean? And doing right by her. And I don't know if there's smoke to this fire. I don't know what is there. I know a lot of people were, they were, going crazy about this. But listen, he's signed to AEW, and he's not going anywhere. And I think that the reason why he had to get out of there is because there could be a lot of like, there was legal stuff that kind of tore WWE and CM Punk apart. And for him to be there with you know what I'm saying? It's just odd. And until they have a formal meeting and all of them meet, I don't know if we'll be seeing him hang out very often, but
this is definitely an anomaly. Like, I don't think like, Punk is like, they're back in Chicago and Punk's going to be there again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just can we say it's a cool moment? Like I think it's cool that, personally, I think it's cool that he made up with Miz, because I feel as though what he said about Miz and what he said that time was really uncalled for.
Uncalled for and very, very random. And then a few weeks ago on the War Report, we talked about Punk willing to work with the Elite, just make the relationship work. Whatever. We were just like, he's really willing to make amends with them, but he still has this beef with WWE, and it seems like he's really trying to like better, basically just let it die. Be a better him.
And again, like I shudder to say, I don't want to give this guy too much credit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because he has let us down before in so many ways, just with the things that he does. But I think for someone to talk so much shit about them literally last year, I'm sorry, Cyrus. This
podcast is over. You can follow me on Twitter.
But for him to literally talk shit about them and then go visit them and then, basically kind of say, hey, my ears are open. I think that doesn't bode well for Tony Khan when it comes time to renegotiate with this guy come 2-3 years.
It's looking bad. And then, Tony Khan, not the most fearsome leader or the most leader. Punk is, what is he gonna do about that? Like, I don't think AEW is gonna like really punish people for that, but it's just like, you're seeing like your prized possession for your company, what everybody deems is what's going to save you, fraternize it with the enemy. Mm-hmm. What are you doing to like comfort Punk to not be doing shit like that?
Well, I think at this point, the trust is so frayed between all parties that I think for Punk to say, well, they're giving him his own show. Sorry, so like that. There's nothing that he's gonna be able to do about it. It's sort of like Punk playing in his face. It's reminding me very much of when Hogan came back in the yellow and red back in the day in WCW, And
Mhm.
they did this big pop in circumstance, and he came back, and things went right back to the way that they were, and it ended up with Hulk leaving the company. And it's seeming like that to me. I don't want to be right about it. I don't it's not a good prediction to have, but with everything I predicted with this company so far, it has come to fruition. So like I don't feel good about him. Like on the other end, I don't feel good about him going to WWE because of what he may feel about going back to AEW right now.
Yeah. Um, it possibly just being like a spiteful move, and it's just like, well, this is not really what I wanted to do. I just wanted to, be an ass.
Can you even paint it as spiteful? Because the way that it's being portrayed, even in the dirt sheets, this makes Punk come off as like way more positive than he's looked in weeks, right? Whereas
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's Punk going back to his old company where he talked so much shit and he sued them. He goes back and he talks to Paul Levesque. He talks to the Miz. He's hanging out with talent backstage. He looks it's endearing. It's almost like all of the rumors that they didn't want him there were not true. Like I don't know if he saw
Yeah.
Seth, you know what I'm saying? But because Seth,
Uh,
most recently said something, but you know,
I'm I'm sure. Well, we know for sure that Seth is company man. So like, if it came down to it, and Paul was just like, play nice, he'd be like, all right, cool.
yeah,
I'm gonna do the thing for the check. I don't really respect you and no shit like that, but we could do business, we could work, which seems to be damn near impossible in AEW right now. So that's why we're getting Collision.
yes. Collision, the new Saturday. It's been said that this is going to be the CM Punk show in so many words. Apparently there's going to be a split of the roster, a split of talent on the roster.
I think that is a bad idea to be splitting that roster, bro.
Well, the issue is that you have so much talent, some talent that is barely ever on TV, so you can't really say that they're all stars, but you're spreading yourself way more thin with this talent, and you only have one world title. So is MJF going to be wrestling on both shows? I don't think so. So like that's what's confusing me about this setup.
Yeah, like I think the prediction of if you don't really care about who's right or wrong in that situation, you just want to get paid or you just want to like be on the show, you're going to be on both. Like, playing defense, if you really want to call it that, like whatever dramas between the Punk and Elite's not going to stop me from, being on either show, getting TV time, which should be the mentality for a lot of people. But, we've seen a lot of AEW wrestlers more or less picking sides already in some shape or fashion. But yeah, I do feel that this is not a great idea. Like when this quote unquote draft coming around, after like the first round, what the fuck are we doing? We're fighting over Butcher Blade. We're fighting over Kip Sabian. Like, what talent do we really care about that could be a difference maker to make me want to watch one show over the other?
And who realistically is after Punk on that mid card, can you say is going to be a game changer in a lot of ways? I think that it's very risky for them to do this. And not only that, you're splitting your fan base. A lot of your fan base likes both of these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they like both of these of these warring factions.
And you and most likely is just like, well, we as a consumer, like, we don't have to pick a side. Like, I doubt there's like people that were just like, man, I'm watching SmackDown only. Fuck Raw.
Yeah. But making them do it, I think, is even worse, Cyrus. Like it's like it's like whether you like it or not, if you want to see CM Punk, he's not gonna be on the show with the Elite, and he's only working one day a week now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like I foresee Collision getting that first major pop of ratings that first Saturday. Yeah, the usual, and then it's gonna go back to what it is. But there's always gonna be that weirdness there, and there's a weirdness that the general public doesn't know about, and there's a weirdness that the actual people who watch this know about. And I think that there's gonna come to it's gonna come to odds there. Like who do we ride with? Who do we side with?
Yeah. Not that I'm picking the Elite side, but dog, I got shit to do on Saturday, which is not watch wrestling. So I'll be watching Dynamite only. Like, of course, I'll always be watching the first episode, and I'll watch matches if they interest me and stuff like that. Like, but I'm giving this show the same treatment that I'm giving Level Up. Like, this time slot is not ideal
For
for,
anything.
I don't think, any wrestling program.
Yeah, for anything. And I think that I just think Saturday is just such a tough time in a way that Wednesdays aren't for them. Like, to a point where again, like, yeah, still have to go against playoffs, but then you have to go against, right now you're going against the summertime. You know what I'm saying? You're going against a lot.
Oh,
You have a
yeah.
lot of things against you when you do this. So do you feel like they're setting Punk up to fail here with this Saturday show, or do you think they're setting the Elite up to fail with this whole split?
The discussion that I had with Quan last week is just like, we don't really know if Collision is even going to be the Punk show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't know which show belongs to which, but whoever gets Collision is on a dummy mission. Because Wednesday is just like, you know, people just work. And when you come off work, you're not really planning on going out or anything like that. So you just come home, watch wrestling, dinner, sleep. Like, it like watching the Dynamite would be very routine to somebody who just came off a shift at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then since, the weekends are normally when people don't fucking work, they're not planning on wanting to stay home. And if they do, maybe they're not really want to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
They want to watch a movie or something, or, go hang out with friends, or, have friends come over. Like, I know, like, we could easily joke and be like, wrestling fans have no life, but it's just like, if I had to choose between watching Collision or a concert or going out with my friends or going to eat or just playing video games with the homies, like, I'm not choosing Collision at all.
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's something we got to wait and see, because I don't know if this is going to end well. I feel like a lot of people are thinking the same thing. And you got to think, like, if you're CM Punk, you got to be like, okay, if this is what it takes, whatever, I'm just going to do my time. And when it's time for me to get the fuck out of here, I'm going straight to wherever the fuck I'm going to go to. Right.
I think if you just want to bide your time, just ride the contract out. Do you really want to, like, have your own show for that?
Yeah. Like, it goes back into what I feel as though is his new character trait here, is that he's going to finish the contract out because he never got to finish the WWE one out.
That's going to be a crazy story. Oh, shit.
You see it.
Yeah, you could with that one.
You see it. He didn't get to finish out that contract with WWE. However, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna finish this out, and he's gonna say, I finally finished out his contract, and I'm gonna go back to WWE and finish it, if he wants to, and finish it the way that I had intended to finish it that time. So who knows?
Oh man, that's gonna be fucking crazy. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. It's just like, what is it? 3-4 years left on that contract, and then having to manage a show that's, like, most likely not going to do great in ratings or whatever. And still with the like, still keep in mind that we don't know whose show is actually going to belong to who. But, like, I do think, like, you could easily pin bad ratings on of Collision on Punk, just being like, you just don't got it. And it's just like, it's just a really unfortunate time slot.
That's what's going to happen. What if and humor me here, okay? The year is 2025, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE landscape has Kenny Omega,
Connected,
the Young Bucks, and the returning CM Punk to WWE.
I'll see you later, AEW. You're fucking cooked, yeah.
No, but even more than that, do these guys work it out there? Does WWE make money with this program if they all leave there and go to another company?
I feel like WWE is gonna ultimately give them an ultimatum, just being like, "Hey, yo, like, this is a different landscape. Like, y'all gonna have to work together."
Yeah,
it's like
not splitting y'all niggas, and we not splitting y'all niggas.
Yeah, like, I feel like it would be easy for them to just be like, all right, y'all on this brand, that brand. Mm-hmm. But then, like, when Mania come around, y'all gonna scrap in whatever stadium that they in?
No, they're not. Hey, they don't do that at that company, bro. Like,
not anymore, at least. But, like, it's just like the knives that they have out in AEW right now would be put away once they're in that landscape, because it's just more like there's more leadership there, and it's just like I feel like Paul would actually be a decent mediator rather than FTR, who is going to be mediating whatever that fucking meeting is. It's just like there's no way you guys are partial when you're saying that you wish Punk was back.
Right. Absolutely.
Paul just I feel like Triple H is being like, we just got to work it out, and if you guys don't want to work together, that's fine. But when that time comes, y'all better man the fuck up and do business.
They need to man the fuck up right now.
Oh, it's too late. Because who's asking them to do business besides Punk just being like, please work with me? Tony Khan's not enforcing shit.
Punk having the bag is crazy. Let me just say, like, they got Punk looking crazy out here.
Yeah.
Looking very crazy for him to go back to that company. Let me just say, I could go a whole hour on why it's crazy for him to go back to that company, but we don't have enough time for that. Let's get to the next point.
Yeah. So the Chris Jericho and CM Punk meeting happened, where FTR was the mediator that I just referenced. Supposedly it went well.
Of course it's gonna. Of course it is. Punk.
Yeah.
You know why it's gonna go well, Cyrus? Because Punk wants to leave.
Yeah.
He's gonna stay and do whatever he can. My mom says this all the time, and I think I've said this before on one of our shows. Sometimes you have to ease your head out of the lion's mouth. Sometimes you just gotta slowly get out of the lion's mouth. And I feel like this is what it is. He's just gonna do or say whatever he can to get the fuck out of this company. And that's what I feel like is happening right now.
Yeah. Amazing terminology as well. Seeing that he has to deal with the Lionheart Chris Jericho here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say whatever to make you happy. Am I gonna do it? We'll see.
So Jericho has to be beating Adam Cole here. There's no way he goes into this is a month away, damn near, that Punk will have to at least be talked about. Well, I guess yes. Jericho could lose this and be like, I'm so mad, I want to face a real nigga or some shit. I don't know.
Whatever weird Dynamite booking. I don't think that it's too immediate, but I definitely think they need to start planning something by the end of May, so they could really start trying to sell out that stadium in Wembley, or the Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
If not, oh my Lord, bro, what could that feud even fucking be?
I called you a stooge online, and I didn't like. It's going to be work shoot bullshit, Cyrus. You already
I forgot about the stooge thing.
Yeah, you already know what it is, and the only thing that's going to make it even more stupid is that the fact that we know these guys met and hugged and kissed and made up, so they're going to be doing all this shit's going to be fake bullshit. So there it is.
Well, that's unfortunate. All right, that's enough about Punk. More Punk next week, most likely. We had two huge announcements happening this week, but I'm going to start the one that really pertains to this show. We have the Owen Hart Cup tournament thing that AEW will be doing, and it's going to be taking place during that summer tour, the summer tour in Canada, which I think is smart. I think that's great. But why the fuck wasn't this in the press release when you let us know initially about what you're going to be doing in the summer?
That's what I say. Here's my thing with AEW summer. There's too much shit for people to remember. Why did you announce this so far out, so early, and it's so far out? I would have announced this in June, or it starts at Double or Nothing. I would have announced it before Double or Nothing. It's still April, bro. I would have saved this. This could have honestly been a press release or an email or IG video.
It could have really been on that press release that just let people know that they're going to be in Canada for Forbidden Door and all that. So I just thought this was weird. Just another huge announcement to get people to watch, and it was just like, oh, I forgot that you guys were even doing that.
It's a lot. I mean, you have that tournament, you have Double or Nothing, which is going to have a bunch of matches. Then you're going to have Wembley Stadium. They still haven't confirmed if All Out is happening that week after.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you right now, Bad idea to
And
have that
yeah,
Forbidden Door and to have 4 pay-per-views in 2 months. That's a bad idea.
they would wrap up a lot of storylines really fucking fast, but
They'd have none. They would have
yeah.
none. You got to think in between Double or Nothing and what Forbidden Door is after Collision or before?
I think it's before.
So you have 2 pay-per-views then you're going to have a second show that has to have a storyline set up for Wembley, and then you're going to do all in right after that, or all out right after that.
And that's going to be weird, having, you know, the roster split between Collision and Dynamite. But, you know, when it's time to come for pay-per-views, is Punk and the Elite going to be allowed in the same building?
Yeah, they have to be. I think Punk will eventually relent and say, "Listen, you keep them on that side, I'll keep them on this side." Here's my thing: they're gonna talk. They might not work together,
They have to.
but they're gonna talk, and that's just gonna be what it is. You know what was interesting to me also? Who is Hangman injured?
Probably, honestly. He hasn't been around for so long, and then they kind of substituted him with Takeshita.
Soon as the Punk stuff came around, he
Oh,
disappears on TV again.
oh yeah, it's been. Is he finally getting fucking punished for kind of starting it?
Saying, "Hey, I'm just making observations."
Yeah, I honestly I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the case. But now, yeah, that is so much to do, and it's just like, hey man, I wish
You
them
got,
the worst of luck.
you got a long summer ahead of you, buddy.
Yeah, that shit ruining my vibe already, bro. Um, all right, so and then next, I know you're kind of sick of it already because it's been going back and forth insanely on the Discord, which you could join for $20 on Patreon. The new WWE Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy emphasis on the Heavyweight Championship. Just want to ask to start, like, how do you like the look?
I like it. I thought TV didn't do it justice on
Oh,
TV.
It was shining way too hard on TV.
Yeah, when I saw it on TV, I said it's all right, and then I saw the actual product shots, and I said, "Oh no, yeah, this is good." I think that it retains some of that slim look of the winged eagle, and then it kind of takes some of the elements of the big gold and puts them together. You could tell Triple H helped design this shit because this is such a Triple H ass belt. Really,
with all the lion decals on it.
yes. I mean, lucky there wasn't any skulls on there either. But I like the big W on the front. I think that's one thing that I've always kind of liked about the AEW belts is that they have the logo front and center. And I think that the way that the logo is kind of presented on this belt is less gaudy than the other belts they have. And the other belts that Roman holds, they grew on me. They had to grow on me. I wasn't a big fan.
Like the hexagon.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan
it.
at first, but I like the W's not set in anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there's nothing like around it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of its own big thing there, and it's a different color, which is really cool too. I'm a huge fan of the heavyweight championship. When I saw it, I think that the discourse around it is just really funny, and I think the discourse is just conversation for conversation's sake. I think that
yes.
I think that online you're allowed to be given a lot of. I think that sometimes, and again, we're doing a podcast about it. But I think that sometimes we tend to like overthink a lot of stuff where it could just be what it says. And I feel as though the show on Monday it conveyed exactly what they wanted to do with this belt. I think that the Triple H and specifically the writers and creative were very specific in the fact that they said that we need to have a champion on this brand or whatever brand that Roman isn't going to be on, and did so much that, I mean, to the point where they almost felt like they threw him under the bus, where it was like, yo, like Roman don't want to be here. We need to have a champion that wants to be here. Right.
Yeah.
So Triple H introduces it. And then Seth Rollins kind of goes further. I felt as though Triple H did he did an okay job. And then Rollins kind of raised the stakes there by saying, hey, I'm the one guy that Roman's never beat. I need to have this. This is what I have my eyes on. And I think that's a really cool way to put it there if they want to be that first one that gets that title, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people express championship aspirations now that a new opportunity has come around. And as far as like throwing like Roman under the bus, I do think that Triple H managed to get Roman a lot of heat without Roman actually having to be there, and I thought that was like
Yes.
really cool. Like that really did him a service.
Yes, and I think they're very they're very careful not to they were very careful to have Cody say specifically and bluntly, I am only focused on this thing right now. I am not focused on that thing. So it's like you have
Oh
to
yeah,
it's getting
that
people
was very
away.
important. That was very important as well.
It's very important to have these people say this, and there's a sense of like inferiority with that title. And
Yes.
I've said it already, and I think that I'm not even going to get into what Roman's doing with it. I think that there's nothing wrong in particular with people having been beat by Roman Reigns. I think that was the story, right? That was the story going forward, was that he was beating everyone. Now that we have this new belt, this is a new thread of the story that has nothing to do with the Roman thread of it. Just because somebody wins that belt does not mean that it's like, oh, you lost to Roman, so we're going to give you this belt.
Oh
He didn't beat
yeah.
everybody. He didn't beat everybody. There is not everyone that he beat, but there's people that need opportunities. And I feel like for people to keep saying you need to split the belts, you need to have Roman lose, you need to have this person win the belt, there needs to be champions on every show. We've said it on our own show, on the A show.
Yeah.
Roman having both those titles has really cratered a lot of people's momentum. That's Drew, that's Seth, that's in some cases people like Riddle. That's some cases where people they needed championship matches to kind of be big deals on their show, but they couldn't because of Roman. Finn Balor is another person. You now have
Yeah.
an opportunity where they can fight for a top title. It might not be a top title, to a lot of people right now, but let's just see what they do with it before May 26th.
Yeah. Uh I don't think there's any point of like trying to chop this title at the knees right now. Like I definitely made the joke where it was just like, oh, like this is you can't beat Roman right now, boss, have this. Like people looking at this title as a participation trophy, but it's very explicit for the reason that like this is going to be the hard brand split that everybody's been asking for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that, let's just be clear, he's getting his 1,000 days.
Oh
He's
yeah,
getting
at this point, hey Cody.
he's getting his. I'm not, and I know this is we're
Well, fuck
delving
Bruno,
into,
bro.
yeah. I'm not too concerned about if Cody is going after the title or not. I just don't right now, and I could be proven wrong. Obviously, I don't feel like he's getting that title. I feel like it's very explicit that he will be very busy this summer with other things.
Uh, shit, we'll see. Oh, but like honestly, like if Cody doesn't really, for Kofi Mania, we waited quite a bit, and I don't know. Okay,
Well, Kofi himself, let's just be clear. Kofi himself waited a long time. Kofi Mania was just
yeah, yeah,
was just a moment in time for us. Kofi waited
yeah.
11.
You're right. Yes.
Like the Cody thing is, it's ongoing. This guy's still the top babyface on his show. He's still, if you want to say it and you want to really go there, it's either Roman 1A, and Cody 1B. Those are the top two guys in the company right now. They are going to
Yeah,
meet again. So like
yeah.
there's no question about it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like, oh man, how many are you gonna do rematches? Like, I love the Brock and Roman matches, so I'm not gonna complain about that. But it's just like how, like, if Roman is gonna get that 1,000 days, is he gonna like actually like surpass Bruno, like the longest reign with like, I think it has to be like 1,200 days.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. 1,000 is. I feel like 1,000 is enough. I feel like 1,000 is something that
Yes,
you can hang on.
and then he could get the title some other point in time, and then then he could just pass him in like consecutive days type shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's, to me, I've been at peace with the WrestleMania decision for weeks now. I feel like a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
people.
I'm cool with it.
I feel like a lot of people aren't, and I feel like this is just the most tired talking point that's going away from the fact that there's some real interesting stuff that they're trying to do, and I think that it's being met with a lot of like unfair vitriol, where it's just like we don't even know how this is going to end yet. So let's just see what happens with this title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, willing to just let's see how it rocks. All right, so with Bruno, that boy held that shit for 4,000 days, bro.
Nah, Roman's not holding that long. Ain't enough spears to dole out, nigga. He have to start going to UFC and spearing niggas. There's no way that Roman's keeping it that long.
Dog, he held that shit for 4,000 days and he only had 2 reigns with the motherfucker.
It was
Yo.
the 60s, bro. Niggas was watching TV with the bunny ears.
Yeah, absolutely different time, but that is crazy, bro. Yeah, Roman got to come up off that shit, yo. Yeah, like you could, I definitely think like before like Roman like retires or anything like that, like he will definitely be surpassing like at least Bob Backlund.
Yeah, for
Or,
sure.
or
Like,
at least Cena. Shit.
I was thinking too, yo, like Cena got a bunch of reigns. So like the
13.
only like Cena got a bunch of he tied Ric Flair's record. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't see Roman doing that before he's out of there. So to give him that, like I'm cool with it. Like if to give him the biggest run, like this is their legend, this is what they're trying to do. And I feel like what people do, like especially now, like the conversations and online and stuff, is that they try and make their own legends the way that they want to do it. When this is the way that this company wants to do it, and it's gonna be Roman. They've been trying to do this for so fucking long, Cyrus, with Roman Reigns. You gotta you gotta hand
they
it.
gonna ride this.
Yeah, they're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off. They've been trying this for so hard, and now it's an opportunity to. And I also wonder what the lineage is going to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I guess we'll see that when somebody wins it next month. But I want to see if it's going to follow the big gold lineage, which got unified a long time ago, or if it's going to follow its own, which is like the Universal did about what was it, like 8 years ago now? So
Yeah, we'll see. Hold on, I'm looking at the World Championship or like the big gold, which come on, scroll faster. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be following the big gold lineage. And then yeah, the Universal.
yeah, that guy like that guy. Well, the thing is, Universal's no more either. You know what I'm saying? It's its own thing now. So oh, they got some explaining. That's their job, not mine.
Yeah, definitely got to hit the. Y'all figure it out.
Yeah, that's y'all 60, not
Uh,
mine.
okay, so for the big gold lineage, they would just have to surpass Sheamus's 211th day reign. Wait, hold on, that's not right. Oh, Triple H's combined days, it would be the 616,
Okay.
which is like, god damn. Well, he held it 4 times, but yeah, we'll see what happens or whenever they crown that new champion. But I do think the new belt is interesting. I do think it's nice. Will I buy it? Probably not right now.
All right, now I gotta see somebody swaggy wearing it. We'll see.
Yeah, you feel me? Next, the final thing that we have for In the Trenches is the Dyads release being denied. Rip Fowler. I don't know if it's the bald one or the one with the hair.
One there.
Okay. They basically say that their contract is going to be up like in the fall time.
October,
And,
I think October.
Yeah. I think this is enough time for NXT or for them just to be like try to make it amends with them if they really want to, because I don't think they would have like denied their release if they didn't really plan on like doing something with them right now. Also the hiring freeze or whatever, so they might be out the door as soon as that's over.
My thing is this, like people are like, why won't you let them out their deal? I'm like, because look at Kevin Durant. Look at Kevin Durant. Look at all these people. Like, this is just what happens when this type of shit happens. Like, you sign a contract, they fully expect for you to finish that contract. It ain't no boo-hoo clause in a contract. That's just like that's just not what happens, right? So I think that ultimately it's a shame that they can't work it out. I know a lot of people think that they're going to try to work it out and get it. I just don't know if those guys want to be there anymore. And I mean, there's a whole company full of tag teams that ain't doing shit on Wednesdays that they could go to and look like big deals. But I like the bald one though. What's the other guy? Rip Fowler and
I do not know the other dude's name. Can't even cap you down, but Zach Gibson.
Zach Gibson. There you go. I like Zach Gibson. I like him a lot. I think they're actually really good workers, but they got saddled with a bad gimmick. I think that
Mhm.
No, giving them it's not even a wacky gimmick. I just think Schism is just it's just so back and forth. Like they never win anything, and I think that's really the issue is that like they never want to go full bore with them, and it's pretty tiring. And now I mean even in NXT this week I was like, man, Gacy Gacy
Ava
and Ava look good, just the two of
by
them.
themselves. Yeah.
They look fine like that. I don't know. So
Yeah, so it might be cooked for them. But like I definitely think like just because they say that like we'll be free agents or whatever by that time comes doesn't mean they can't resign between then and now.
right.
So we'll see whatever happens with them. Just wanted to keep it short with that one before we head into Dynamite here. But let's start it. I'm gonna kind of go a little bit backwards because I didn't think Omega and Takeshita was actually gonna main event. So we'll start with the Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin match for what would soon be, I guess, like it's the finals of the Pillar tournament. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, AW Dynamite tonight as a whole was just really an okay show. It was just like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a bunch of like what type stuff going on. I think that the Sammy and Darby match, I just can't for the life of me figure out why you have him do a 630 out of the ring onto a table and have Darby crawl back into the ring and beat a count. He might as well just go up to MJF and just win the title tomorrow. Because he's one of the greatest niggas I've ever seen in my life. You know,
very strong and resilient.
like, bro, I've never seen anything like this. And you also killed the 630, right? Like you killed that as a move. Like it doesn't matter anymore. That you've seen someone get put through a table with that move and still get up and still continue a match and not sell any of it. The match was, I thought it started off well, and then when the high spot started, it was good. I thought MJF was fucking unbearable, and this commentary team's already bad. Adding MJF to it, unfucking bearable.
What is it? That would be a theme throughout the whole night. Especially when you actually pay attention to the fucking show, you just realize how stupid commentary sounds. Throughout this whole match, Taz is talking about a pickle. You have MJF and Tony Schiavone going back and forth like children. Like Tony, like we get it. You don't like the nigga, bro. Like
it's just cartoon.
Do some color commentary and shut the fuck up. And then like Excalibur tried to be play by play, but you know, Tony Schiavone wants to get himself over and just talk so much shit to MJF.
Yeah, and I mean the pickle jar was just like
Taz is eating the whole time on commentary. Like, just get him out the fucking booth.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. But it again took away from the match in a lot of ways, and I think that after the match, I mean, Sammy defeats Darby
via DQ.
Via DQ, which is why are you keeping like? Because last week it was Jungle Boy with the
count out,
right? Yeah, it was just like you're keeping these guys strong for what? Like we know what's gonna happen. So he wins via DQ, and then you get this stupid, crazy boy. Like Tony Schiavone gets on the mic and is just automatically has the power to call match or to
Tony Khan made the call in, and then I got to relay the message. But I was just like, did we really need to have like this weird tournament or gauntlet, the infamous MJF gauntlet for this? Like, I think they were doing kind of well. So like a few weeks ago, not doing it, like they were really showing restraint, which was surprising to me. But like, you guys have this ranking system. You always want to talk about motherfuckers going undefeated and shit.
That shit is gone.
Yeah, but like, why couldn't it be that these pillars are just trying to like race each other to the top, but in the end they all like catch up to each other?
I think the real question here is that why couldn't you have some really cool
story?
Some cool stories to do it. I think that there's a real, you know, I didn't think the promo was good, but I thought that the animosity with Darby and Jungle Boy was palatable. Like it was something that you could have built this program on and led to the MJF match. I feel like you could have started with these two, added Sammy into this, and it's them three and the MJF coming out and talking shit on them. Like I feel like you could have done some really cool stuff with just these three guys going to this without having to do the and come tournament. The tournament or the Sammy stuff with MJF. It's just silly. There's no way I will believe that MJF, who conned the whole world into thinking he was going to be a babyface late last year, into believing that Sammy Guevara really is going to let him do a finger poke of doom at Double or Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
I don't like the way that they kept talking about a commentary. I was just like, dog, it's not gonna happen, Shivani. Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Like shut the hell up, bro. Like you think Sammy is really gonna lay down and MJF is just like, yes, nigga, I paid him.
And Cyrus, you started watching wrestling a couple years ago, right? Not too long ago.
Yeah.
Let's say you had just started watching and you got into AEW and they keep referencing this thing that happened.
The finger poke of doom.
20 years before you started watching this shit. Why are y'all even talking about the finger poke of doom? That is again speaking. You're speaking to the small room, not the big room. You're speaking to like diehard people that remember what the fuck that was. You don't need to talk about the finger poke of doom anymore. That shit is so old that there's a reason why other companies don't reference that. I know WWE had a hard on for the screw job, but I get on them for that too. Why are you still talking about this?
Yeah. Especially when like neither party, like HBK or like what is it, Brett, are even like involved with the company anymore at this point. So it's just like it's fucking whatever.
It would be done for them. It would be like if they went to Montreal and Sammy versus Roman did a screw job finish. And it's like you guys have beaten this with a dead horse. So it's like you're now on TV hearing them keep reference this thing that happened, but not reference who was involved. So it's like, are you making the people go Google this and figure out what this is? And also, why would you threaten that? It just doesn't seem right to me. I don't know.
Yeah. MJF just being like, ha ha ha, I'm going to give everybody a shit main event because, you know, I paid my way into it. I was just like, that's not really heelish to me. I just think that's really stupid. What honestly should have just been the story is like MJF is like extremely confident that he is the best world champion and all these other pillars are really shitty, like he's been saying already. So why the fuck is he ducking them? I'll beat all you motherfuckers with no fucking problem.
This to me just screams, because again, they announced the Pillars tag team, and I'm gonna guess that Darby and Jungle Boy pin Sammy, and that leads to the 4-way. And I think that's pretty much how we're gonna get to this match. Everyone knows what
and then Sammy is like the weakest nigga going into the match.
Someone's got to take that pin, or it doesn't finish, or you do
the fuck finish would be crazy. Very likely though, but after this sort of match, MJF and Sammy Guevara like storming out of the arena mad upset, and then they're just like MJF is about to ride off, and Sammy Guevara tries to get in the car, and MJF is just like, "Oh, big guy,
you can't get in the back.
There's no space in here." And they pan to the empty car, and it was just like, "Oh, brother."
That was funny. I thought the pan was funny. I was like,
they laid it on a little thick with the pan, but I can see that the car's empty, bro. The cameraman just being like, "Really?" You know what? Yeah, it's fine.
These two niggas kissing and shit.
Oh yeah, hugging and stuff, and I just like, I'm glad that didn't come across. I already know what you're about to play. Freaky ass niggas.
Hey, put that in the show, bro. You gotta put
that. There's no continuity on this fucking show because, as I firmly remember, MJF and Jericho don't like each other, and Sammy Guevara is Jericho's bump guy. Why are you kissing and hugging this nigga? Like, and then always in AEW, if you're part of a faction and you're part of the world title, your faction is not involved.
No, never.
Like, Jericho should be coming up to Sammy just being like, "You really fucking with this nigga? Like, for real?" Nasty. Or like, you know, Jericho motivating him to like bring it back home, but you know, he's just obsessed with Adam Cole and
some strange reason.
Yeah, we can get into that now. Adam Cole speaks, and Adam Cole is just talking, saying that he's gonna beat up Jericho, blah blah blah, this and that.
Come out, I'm gonna come get you.
Yeah. And then Jericho comes on the Tron. It was just like, motherfucker, I'm not coming out. Kiss my ass.
He said, "You let your wifey get beat up. You ain't doing shit about it." Yeah.
You a soft ass motherfucker. Who lets that
Then
happen?
and then I saw these strange men in strange outfits. They dress like this every week.
Yes. The JSA, the Jericho nut huggers come out to beat on Adam Cole, and Orange Cassidy and did Bandito show up to that? I thought
Yes,
I only
Bandito showed up to that.
okay, random group of niggas.
Strange.
AKA Kyle's not good and Bobby not coming back, maybe.
What a strange, and I mean, I guess we could get to the debut here.
Yeah.
The Jericho JAS come out and they overpower Bandito, Adam Cole, and Orange Cassidy. And you hear some music, nobody knows what it is. I'm gonna be honest with you, the logo spinning didn't do nothing for me. I didn't know who the fuck that was until he ran out.
To me, when that logo came up, it looked like SRS. And I said, nigga, what the fuck is Sean Ross Sapp doing? I was like, what the fuck is he doing here? Are you serious? Like, this is what you want to do? And then it's fucking Roger Strong. And I'm just like, I feel so bad for him, bro.
Roger Strong, who was
back in the ghetto.
Back to AEW. We'd already known that he requested his release, or it was rumored he requested his release. He's been silent, stayed silent. Last time we saw him, he was in a hospital bed. I guess he ain't ever get out. I guess he just died. Mm-hmm. I guess the surgery didn't go well.
The marathon stopped for him, bro.
Yeah, it definitely fucking did. It stops now. He comes out, gives everyone a bunch of his moves, takes off his shirt. He looks tinier than ever. I don't know how he looks tinier than when the last time we saw him, but he definitely is there. It also makes sense for him to be in Florida. I think he lives close. He lives in Florida. He comes out, big pop, holy shit chant. Then him and Adam Cole hug, once again referencing something from another company.
Yeah.
They could have just been cool. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. I promise you didn't have to do the fake Sammy KO hug. They could have just dapped up. You didn't have to do that. And then you see OC and Adam Cole looking at each other. So I guess the beef is squashed.
No continuity, bro.
No continuity whatsoever. This dude was making your life a living hell literally a year ago, and y'all are cool again. And again, this happens in wrestling. I'm not trying to say it doesn't happen in wrestling. There's usually a build up to it. There's usually the build up to this was Orange Cassidy hearing about from Renee after the match with Bandito, hearing about the stuff that was going on with Adam Cole, and Orange Cassidy deciding to do something about it. That happened 20 minutes before that.
that was your whole build up to it. And then I'm just like, all right, Orange Cassidy and Bandito, you're helping out Adam Cole for whatever reason. You just want to do the right thing, right? Mm-hmm. But Orange Cassidy, you also have a group of niggas. Why'd they help you? Like, I swear, people are in factions for no fucking reason.
And I think that putting serious Adam Cole with silly ass Orange Cassidy is not the move either. I'm sorry,
definitely not.
It's just not the move. It's a strange thing, but I mean, ultimately, Roger Strong is back. He's put right back with Adam Cole. I'm sorry, I can't help but think that this is just silly to me. I think that, again, you're re-rocking this whole thing once again. You're doing the same thing, Cyrus. They're doing the same thing that they did when Adam first got there, and that's put him with people that we've seen him with for 5 years before this.
Yeah, and like, even if you don't want, even if you want to say, oh, but like they were like a thing before this, like before NXT or whatever, right? Dog, do something different. Just entertain the thought of doing something different.
Entertain me.
Like, I get it. You could do it because they have great chemistry and, like, they have that history in ROH or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, it's not like that history of them in ROH is going to get, hugely referenced.
Mm-hmm. They referenced it on commentary when he came out. They were together or they had a team in ROH or something like that. And just god awful way to introduce him, by the way.
And then it's just like, oh man, can I watch the stuff that when they were together in ROH? No.
Where is Roger Strong in 9 months in AEW?
Probably still in this fucking feud with Jericho. And if not that, he gets beat up by the Jericho Appreciation Society. And then he is pure wrestling champion, wrestling Shibata again.
I definitely see ROH in the future. I definitely see ROH in the future.
Just back to ROH. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll hear more details about it. I'm hoping that it's a I can't get cleared situation rather than I left.
I think it's
we'll see.
I think it's the latter. I really feel like it's the latter. They all wanted to go. So, I mean, Kyle O'Reilly this week said that his career would be nothing without Adam Cole. He'll go there.
We knew he was a nut hugger already, but I thought Roger was gonna be his own man.
Nah, not at all.
It was just like also you had a great position trying to help. Like, I saw people like just being like, oh man, Cassius Ono like deserve more or whatever. But I was just like, I was really cool with Roger Strong being in that role, like with the Creeds, because it worked for me at least. I know people had issues with Roger Strong just being bitter or whatever, but like, he could have rocked back with Damian Kemp and shit like that,
Ultimately, I mean, Adam Cole must have that good pussy, bro, because they love that nigga. They love that nigga, bro.
I was about to say something crazy, but let's move on to the main event. We got Kenny Omega defeating Takeshita and Butcher and Blade.
No, it was Kenny Omega and Takeshita defeating Butcher and Blade.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they're in a tag team, first time tag team. It was supposed to be a big deal. And they no.
Okay, go
ahead. They defeat Butcher and Blade. I think the match is whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was very botch. It was botch heavy. A lot of spots.
No chemistry with any of these people in this match.
Not at all.
And I usually do like Butcher and the Blade. Like, I do think they have a look, and I do think like they're decent wrestlers for the most part, but then they just paired themselves with Kip Sabian and whatever the fuck he's got going on. And then it's the faction as a whole, like if they took a group picture, they would look stupid as hell.
It was probably on the lesser, and again, like tonight's episode was a lot of matches that were on the lesser end of what you would expect from a Dynamite match. It was there was no second gear to a lot of these matches, other than like Jade's shockingly finding a second gear in a 6-minute match with
Taya.
But I think there was not. I think Kenny was absolutely kind of the ring general here, right? Like he was doing everything in this match, and toward the end, you get the Gaga, and there was a lot of blown spots here, which I'm not gonna look over it. It was there, but they defeat them finally, and you get Daniel. We didn't even mention it. That Bryan Danielson was on commentary.
Yeah, it sounded much better than MJF on commentary. He didn't really go back and forth with Tony Schiavone as much, so that was cool. They at least at this point they at least tried to get Danielson's like perspective on his ops.
Yeah, he was. I wasn't listening to his commentary. I couldn't listen to the commentary at this point, but
no, it's fine.
It was definitely like a big decision to have what they ended the show with be another big brawl and beatdown.
Featuring a screwdriver.
Featuring a screwdriver. Bucks come out, they get taken over, they super kick Mox, and just a bunch of silly shit at the end. And then Kenny's trying to go for the screwdriver. Takeshita says, no, don't do it. And then he ends up getting the screwdriver.
And then I'm just like, motherfucker, Takeshita, why the fuck do you care?
Yeah, it was weird. And I guess I feel two ways about this, because I feel as though Callis is going to turn, and I feel like Takeshita will too, because I feel like Bryan Danielson is going to eventually brainwash him, and I think that's what's going to happen. Like it's just very clear as day that they're trying to break the Elite off. This is my theory, Cyrus. I really think they're trying to wind these guys down by November when Kenny's contract is up.
Just beat them the fuck down.
Or not beat them down, but do all the big programs and get a lot of the people away from them and moving on to other things. I feel like you got to do Kenny Bryan again. You could probably do Kenny and Mox again. You do these big matches, and then he can go about his way, because those are like the last people. If he's not going to work with Punk, those are the last two people that he really realistically could work with in the next 9 months.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. I man, I can't say that I care too much about this program.
It's pretty. It's like of all of the long running stories on the show, it was this one that got like the most time tonight.
Yeah, and I just, I do think this is kind of like, I don't know. I want to say I like this better than the Pillar story, but I don't actually think I do.
The Pillar story is awful. The Pillar story is awful. I think,
but like, I also think this story is really awful. Like Danielson just calling niggas amateurs and shit like that, and just being like, we're we're real pro wrestler shit. It's just, it's so fucking tiring.
Speaking to the small room.
Like this shit doesn't really interest me at all. And then like the back and forth shit with trying to like put screwdrivers in each other's heads. And then, it's happening to all parties, but either faction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happened to Hangman, but it's not happening to anybody in the Elite. It happened to the Cash Show, but it's not happening to anybody, in the BCC.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're just gonna bring in miscellaneous people to trade screwdrivers with.
You need to have a screwdriver on the pole match. Fuck it.
Yeah, like this is most likely gonna end in like what is it? Stadium Stampede or Anarchy in the Arena type thing. And I'm just like, that's not really a wrestling match that the BCC says that they're like complete masters of.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys are supposed to be the technical gifted people, and then all your blow-offs or all your really big matches doesn't really involve showing your technical prowess. So it's just like what do you guys really like stand for?
They stand for
blood.
Blood, guts, and I think Punk is starting to, not Punk, but Danielson's starting to look like the cult leader type vibe again. I think that if they go with that role, I would be cool with that. I think that would be a cool role for them to go, like to have him be the Jim Jones of the BCC cult. I mean, if he's gonna go back to a heel, he might as well go back to like his most famous heel incarnation, right?
Yeah,
it makes the most sense to me.
It's just, I mean, whatever. There's a lot of long feuds that I can't really say that any of these really have my interest or anything like that. But just to end this part so we can go into the quick hits, Takeshita takes a screwdriver and then they try to get a shot of him bloody, but the cameraman gets a terrible angle. So you just get blood on the forearm. None of it's going on Takeshita's face, so you can't get that visual at all. And then
Takeshita looked,
show's over.
Takeshita looked really amateur in this. I think he still needs a little bit more. He ain't looked that great to me.
He like, although he like won this match, but like it's against Butcher Blade, who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's true.
They beat him the fuck down. Like I don't really care about Takeshita. Like I don't really think he's all that interesting. Like he's definitely had like some really good matches in the past, but it's just like there's nothing really to gravitate towards off just good match guy. Because I could watch a million good matches and just, I watch good matches on the indies. I don't remember any of those motherfuckers' names by the end of it.
I feel like tonight had one good match.
Which one do you feel like it was the really good one?
The OC match was really good.
Okay, I agree as well. Speaking of the match, let's get into the quick hits. We get Orange Cassidy defeating Bandito here. Very long match to start the show.
So long.
I think this match is fine. I think this match is like the best on the show. What kills it for me, well, not kill it, but like what like was killing me at watching it is Excalibur always saying that Bandito went back to Mexico, trained with his master so he could counter Orange Cassidy's offense. And I'm just like,
you don't gotta get the story here is, can Orange Cassidy continue the streak? That's the only thing that matters here. Keep it
Yeah,
to that.
yeah. I'm just like, you had to go back to Mexico, train with your master to beat the nigga that put his hands in his pockets. Really? And
Give me
then
a fucking break.
he does a couple like really tight like roll ups or whatever, and then Bandito counters it, and then Excalibur goes, "That's what he went to Mexico for, that the counter offense like that," and then he doesn't win.
I, I I mean, he was never gonna win, but
Yeah, he was never
I,
gonna win, but I was just
but
like,
I think that they're trying to give story to something where they don't have to. You could just say Bandito is trying to get a big win. Bandito just debuted. He's been off TV for a couple of weeks. He's been looking at
yeah,
Cassidy. He's been studying tapes. And he's even though he's been backstage, he's been studying tapes on Cassidy, right? So this is what he's gonna do tonight. Da, 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 da. And I think that's how you do it. It's just simple. I think that
yeah.
for all of what Excalibur people love Excalibur for, I think he is too verbose in trying to make up for the bullshit we see on screen every week.
Uh, yeah. And then the match was just just regular Orange Cassidy stuff. Like I say regular Orange Cassidy stuff, like not that he's like having bad matches or whatever, but it's just like it's just the usual.
Yeah, and the usual. Hey, it's good. We all love chicken Alfredo or whatever. We all love that.
As much as Twitter try to downplay it.
Right. Hey, Alfredo again, honey. Yeah, hey, that's Orange Cassidy every week. You're gonna get the old faithful.
Yeah. Next we get Jade Cargill defeats Taya Valkyrie in the title match. Jade continues the streak with no Statlander return. It seems like this thing is most likely going to continue. I don't think it should, because she lost pretty definitively and stupidly.
Turned her heel, by the way.
Yeah, she also
turned her heel here.
Turned heel against a Jade Cargill who was also already heel. So I think ROH, you go, or Rampage Hell, you go.
Both women have the same finisher too, so it's like,
yes, and Taya Valkyrie would be. It was said like the stipulation was if she uses, the Rose of Valhalla or whatever the fuck she calls it, she would be disqualified. You knew this for a week.
You still tried to do it.
You still tried to do it. You didn't think of like pulling out a new finisher, or probably just a new signature.
Whoever agents her matches or who produces them are piss poor. It's a good. It was fine. It was a fine match.
No,
but I think that a lot. I think Jade is not good, but the match was fine. I think that they gave her a lot to do. When she was in them rest holds, I was like,
rest holds in a 6-minute match, bro.
Shit, crazy.
Yeah, I just thought that was stupid, and then it was just like, yeah, like you knew that you couldn't do that finisher, so like, oh, it's just instinct to go for it. But motherfucker, you had a week to like get over that or show some damn restraint. I just thought that was so stupid. And then the post-match, Taya is just like pissed off that she lost. It was just like, what'd you expect? And then she tries to do the finisher on Aubrey Edwards, and the ref was like, chill.
Should have did it. She should have just did it and shot on her.
Yeah.
I'm all for shooting on Aubrey Edwards.
And then I don't know, like where does either party go from here? Like I don't really think like this shit could truly continue.
Jade back to the Jobber Factory, Taya, ROH, like you said.
Terrible booking between that. They need to like stop waiting for Chris Statlander to come back. Let's move on past that.
I feel as though this win means that she is imminent. There's a pay-per-view coming up, and Jay needs an opponent. So I believe if she has a 500-day celebration or some shit like that, then you already know who's coming to interrupt.
I honestly wish that they went with the consecutive day thing and not the amount of wins she's had.
Yeah, now they're seeming to switch over to that, huh?
Yeah, but it's just like it's kind of too late, brother.
Yeah. The wins that you're paper champion, like you know what I'm saying, paper opponents. I'm sorry, not paper champion, but
yeah. We get the Wardlow speaks, but Wardlow doesn't speak.
Right.
and it's all R. Anderson just talking whatever.
Brings up the draft, brings up why he's with Wardlow, brings up a lot of things. Says Wardlow, sometimes you're gonna have to poke somebody in the eye, sometimes you're gonna have to use a chair, and
Yeah, you're gonna have to do
stuff.
whatever you can to win.
I felt like this was a promo that he was cutting to the wrong audience. These people were not old enough to know that type of grit that he had on that promo. And then Christian comes out with Lucha Man, Luchasaurus. They think you're gonna say something, and they don't. So I guess that's the next thing that happens.
Yeah,
Hey,
and I was, why the fuck aren't you guys saying anything? Like this is your guys' time to talk. It's a Wardlow speaks. It literally says on the graphic, "We'll hear from Wardlow." Doesn't speak.
You know how they do.
So stupid. And then Arn Anderson just says a lot of nothing. Wardlow versus Luchasaurus. Y'all be easy. I'm good, brother.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing. It's happening.
Yeah. Dax Hardwood loses to Jeff Jarrett. When the Acclaim had these tag titles, they was not losing no singles matches.
Jeff Jarrett kicked out of a power driver. I would just like to know the level of pain that AEW wrestlers can face before they actually submit.
Darby Allin is God, so I don't know what to tell you. These motherfuckers could take a lot of punishment. But Jeff Jarrett getting out of a power driver, I was just like, whatever. And then like, where the fuck was Cash?
I don't know. That was weird. They just allowed Jeff Jarrett to take I guess he's not going to steal it, but he beats him after some. Well, they kicked out Sanjay in the geeks, and then one of the geeks got back and managed to help him win the match with the stroke. And you have Jeff Jarrett winning, and then you have he grabs the title, which I guess means in so many words and so many less words that it's going to be Jarrett and I guess Lethal versus FTR, which hooray. Again, they won these belts with no division. Let's just be,
they won those belts with no division and no creative. And honestly, I don't even, what are they're fighting over who wanted consoled fucking Mark Briscoe? Like, what are you guys even fighting for?
They are not landing this post Jay Briscoe thing. They're not sticking the landing here. To be clear,
no,
they're not sticking.
The tribute match was literally the peak.
Yes, that was the peak, and since then it's been downhill. Mark wasn't even on the show tonight, which was super weird. So
yeah, and like he's kind of like the conduit between these two, and he just wasn't there. So weird, but that's what that's it for the docket. But I just remembered that Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter had a pre-tape just saying, "Hey, the Outcasts, you're gonna have to kill us." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's it."
I hope so.
Like, did you not want to like schedule a match or something? Mm-hmm. Neither of like the biggest women's feud, part of that biggest women's feud, was on the show tonight. In the ring at least, or they didn't even like respond to the promo. So they'll probably respond on Rampage.
Who booked this shit? I have no clue how you don't follow up on any of these angles in any meaningful way this week.
Yeah.
Other than Adam.
The Adam Cole thing, I think that would have been the perfect time for the Outcast to actually come out there. They could have came out there and said some, Jericho didn't touch your shawty. I did. Fuck you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
And then you just what is it? You just have the JSA beat him up anyway.
Exactly.
You didn't have to have Chris. Well, you could have still had. No, there wasn't any need for Chris Jericho to be on the Titantron for.
I just saw a tweet from Jacob Cohen. He says we are 4 hours and 23 minutes into the taping, and we are going to finish up our last few ROH matches. Good Lord.
4 hours into the taping.
RIP, bro.
And then who's watching? Like, who's really watching? Like, what is motivating motherfuckers to be like, yeah, we have to keep ROH going? That shit ain't making no money. And then niggas said Nigga said Tony Khan's not concerned with making money off ROH right now.
No, he's not. He's not.
So Yama's not trying to get paid. Maybe he should be worried about that. Fucking crazy, bruh. But okay, let's get into NXT Spring Breaking. I thought Spring Breaking was a very decent show. I thought it was very nice.
Solid. Good match. Some fun.
Solid would be the best word.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought I was like, why didn't you take a lot of these niggas into Stand and Deliver that was working tonight? Like, why weren't a lot of these niggas there? I thought it was good. And again, I think NXT really crushes these TV specials. I don't think I've seen a bad one yet.
Was Halloween Havoc a pay-per-view? I think that's probably the one I'm down on the most.
I think it was TV last year. I want to say
I'll probably say that's like the one that I wasn't really fucking with as a TV special. But I definitely thought the show was very solid. As we said, and I felt like this was like a sort of step in the right direction, or like, some course correction, or putting their best foot forward for most of this. But to start, we got the family, Tony D'Angelo and Stacks Lorenzo, defeating Pretty Deadly in a trunk match.
It sounds like a match that Plies would make up.
Yeah. What I thought was really funny about this whole thing was the car that they had the stuff in was like a fucking Herbie.
like, bro,
that's not a mafioso vehicle, bro.
They're 7 feet tall, bro. How did you get there? I think Tony D, I've come around because I've seen him get better. Seeing him get better. I'm seeing him like really come into his own in this character, but also as a babyface. And I'm so glad they not course corrected, but they changed his affiliation here and they made him a babyface. I feel like the fans are naturally behind him. I think a lot of the stuff he could do, he could be like kind of like not like an Eddie Guerrero type, but a tweener face that people really get behind. And when they throw him in that trunk, big reaction from the crowd. They really like that stuff. And we got to pour one out for Pretty Deadly. I feel like if there was anyone on this show, in this brand, that we knew from the moment they showed up had to be moved, they were in purgatory for such a long time on this brand. It was these two. They did everything on this brand within
in a very short time.
Exactly. They did everything on NXT in 6 months. And if they're getting called up on Friday, which for all intents and purposes, they got dumped in a lake. It looks like they did. They've sent Tony
babyface giving niggas cement shoes, bro.
Right, sent another team out of the territory. If that is the case, I gotta hand it to them. They did their thing. They've been great in UK. They've been great in NXT, and I feel like it's finally time for them to put on and show up and show out and on the main roster and with anyone. You can put them with anyone. All of it's first time stuff, and I think it's gonna work.
Looking forward to them in Alpha Academy. They are about to tower over Chad Gable and Otis. But that should be fun. I'll very much be looking forward to that. We'll see where they land come this draft. Next, we get Cora Jade defeats the biggest bird, Lyra Valkyrie.
Lyra, slow it down. There was two moments in this show where I'm like, they need to slow it the fuck down. Like Lyra was working way too fast in this match. And Cora
was not keeping up. Not that like it's her fault, but it's you're going mad fast, son.
Yeah, she's trying to get heat, and Lyra's just busting through moves. There was one time where I'm just like, bro, you blowing a lot of shit by trying to go too fast, and I'm expecting like this match got some time. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a super short match, but I thought that it was strong to show that Cora could kind of go with Lyra Valkyria. They've been building her up. This is their first loss in NXT since she arrived. But I think that again, they're keeping Cora strong for something. I don't know what it is. I would imagine that it's probably indie coming up, but
her and Indy. Yeesh.
it's gonna be interesting. I think
I'm scared.
Cora needs a submission. I think he needs
Uh, a submission with the kendo stick, but I don't think that's well, like she can establish a submission technique now, and then when the time comes for that match with Indy, and then she does like a kendo assisted version of it, that could definitely garner some boos.
yeah, like she needs like a the fish hook, like when they put somebody's hands in their mouth and they tear their like cheek.
Oh, that's the lockjaw effort maker guy.
Yeah, she should do that.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Maybe a leg submission since Indy's like very much taller than her. She could probably establish something like that. Like I don't want to say like a clover leaf because I think Cora is a little too small for that.
Yeah.
But like a single leg Boston, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean something. Again, big win for Cora on her return. I'm interested in seeing where they go with her here. There's a lot of the thing with this right now is if they're not calling anybody up right now from the women, which would be a huge mistake if they don't call anybody up. I there's just so many women in rotation in NXT right now, and some that are injured that are coming back soon. You know what I mean? And I or coming back in the next couple of months. And more to debut. There's like another girl, the Sol Ruka's friend. They're waiting for
her. Danny Palmer.
Danny Palmer.
She does. She had a really good match on Level Up, I think, like a few months ago with Lola Vice. So I'm high on Danny Palmer, just Lola, off what I saw.
And Lola's, you know what I'm saying? Like they've got to do something with these girls rotating in and out. And some people got to go. I really feel like, what if they just called up Kiana James or like Fallon? Like out of nowhere, like I really feel like we're gonna get like some shot call up.
And they fucking act like they did it. They did it just beat the fuck out of each other on Tuesday. I'm hitting the Drewski ads.
They needed to leave
because I think that Kiana went from what the fuck is this weird real American type gimmick that you got going on to the Iron Survivor, where it was just like, hey man, this motherfucker could really work. And then as a tag, I felt like they did good as tag champs. I just didn't
they had one defense of those.
Yeah, and I don't think that match was that good, but the rematch was good.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah,
the rematch was better. I thought this match at Stand and Deliver was very okay. Like I didn't think it was I wasn't down on it.
A lot of okay matches at Stand and Deliver. Okay to bad. Yeah. They made up for it here with and you were questioning Spring Breaking, and I was like, hey,
I was very questioning of Spring Breaking. But yeah, we'll tackle that in a second. Wait. Yeah, let's just talk about it now. We got the Hicks. They need a name.
Hicks versus
the corporate couple.
Kiana and the corporate couple versus the Hicks. This was a really good match. I was not expecting it, and it was good in the sense that no, this wasn't like a technical masterpiece, but the story behind it was actually really good. And once you got to the final stretch between Jensen and Briggs, and Kiana and Fallon on the outside, and Fallon, trying to stop Kiana from having Jensen cheat. I thought this was really. Again, this to me has been the best story on NXT.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were just like, just kind of like when this first started, it was very bizarre. Just to just be like, I never had a girlfriend, I never kissed, I never, just being he's just a virgin. And then they find Henley, and I thought Henley was gonna be, the girl for him or whatever, and then. You get the weird bars shit, the very Disney ass storyline, and then after they win it, and then it goes to Teen Nick.
It goes to Degrassi a little bit, a little
Degrassi. Yeah, a little Degrassi bag, and now we're back. I feel like we're still in Degrassi territory here, with them making up at the end.
I love Jensen's makeover.
The straightened hair.
bro. The new tights too. Hey, it takes a lot to like change over somebody's whole gear in a week. You know what I mean? Like it takes a lot to do that and change his whole look. I don't mind him keeping that, but I know that he won't because of course, I mean Briggs gives Jensen a fucking hellacious clothesline and beats the shit out of him.
Yo, smoked him with that shit. Also, I think they have amazing chemistry together. Him and Briggs.
I would like to see more of it if they're going to do it. I actually thought the Jensen at the end when Kiana breaks up with him officially, that Jensen was going to just be like, no, fuck you, and go off. But it looks like they're going to make up. It's a good team to have. I think that they've got the most compelling story. I mean, I would say it's about time to give them the NXT titles, but it looks like Gallus has some other plans with Schism and Gallus going against each other pretty soon. So we'll see what happens between them.
Yeah. Also, we didn't mention that Kiana J after the corporate couple lose, because just can't learn how to cheat right. Kiana was just like, man, I'm tired of this losing shit. I never fucking loved you, bruh. And I was just like, hold on. She valid. Love takes time to build.
Yeah, I mean, she can't love you immediately, bro. So like,
she ain't lie. Yeah. She hasn't got to that point yet.
Give her some time.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
She out there. She out there, man. She's just having a little sex. She'll be right back.
Oh, she's not coming back. That was what is it? 2 weeks ago was the hey man, she's just having a little sex, bro. She'll be back at the PC.
This is now it's the hand at Applebee's.
Oh,
Instagram. You just see the hand. Come on, man.
Taking his own picture.
Oh my god.
But no, I thought the match was really good. I do like all parties involved. Like I think they're all really talented.
Mm-hmm. And it's a complete 180 from what I thought about them a year ago. So good
right?
job.
Oh my god.
Good job on creative for them.
Now we get the NXT title match. When this was the middle of the show, I say, yeah.
Well, I've always said this.
Cooking.
I've always said that. Well, here's the thing. I think that they consider the women's program when Roxy's in it to be a bigger program than the men's. And I absolutely agree. Roxy is a ratings mover. This week, NXT does 654,000 with her in the main event. She's consistently always done big numbers for NXT. People want to see her, and she's really popular. That's why I can understand the chase now, but I don't understand the way that they got to this chase. But with Melo, he's going to take some time to come into his own with this title. And I think that if it's not working, they need to take it off of him, because what it's giving me is HBK vibes back when he was winning the title and people was tuning out.
Yes. I remember, watching Reliving the War, that all y'all should watch. It was just like, we're just going with like what seems sort of like comfortable, them giving it to HBK, but it was just like, this is not doing good for the show.
No, it wasn't. And there aren't a lot of examples that you can have other than the fact that you have Waller versus Melo, where it's like clearly the crowd wants to cheer and they do cheer Carmelo Hayes. And again, I like that it was no frills. I liked the match. I thought the match was good. I thought it was smart for Waller to take out Trick, to all the counters that they did. It was, other than a couple of kind of sloppy spots in the beginning, they brought it back together. And I thought that they did have a lot better chemistry than what I saw between Braun and Melo a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was really solid. I think Waller's really coming into his own as just a real worker. Like he's really working his ass off, and it shows here.
Yeah, I agree too. I think this match is a lot better than the Melo Braun match, and I do think this match is better than the Grayson Braun match. I do like the finish as well, with Waller just not being able to like do his finisher, which tells me, nigga, you need a new finisher.
Absolutely. I like working the legs of both, working the ankles, the knees of both guys. Good psychology there. You and Cyrus, did you notice that Melo won without Trick's help?
Because he was neutralized.
Melo won without Trick's help.
I'm starting to think more and more every single day that wasn't supposed to be the finish at Stand and Deliver.
You think so?
It's it's kind of getting hard for me to think otherwise.
Okay.
Because they never reference it. They never. It's never mentioned that Melo cheated to win that match. When they did the Waller effect last week, it was just like, you need Trick to win, but they didn't mention that like Trick is the reason why he has that title. Like, it wasn't explicitly said like, you only got that because he cheated.
Right. There's a lot of work.
I feel like if we try to watch Stand and Deliver right now, there's going to be a little bit of a cut on that finish. Like, I think it's like that bad.
Hey, call Kevin Dunn, bro. Get it done.
I will look back after I watch this and see if the finish is the same, and then I'll report back. But like, I really do feel like that finish was not supposed to happen.
And it leads out to, and again, like it leads out to Braun Breaker coming up. Braun absolutely squashed,
murdered Andre Chase. And earlier. I hate that earlier on the show, like they were really gassing him up. The match is not even a match.
It's like 2 minutes long, if that. Just destroys him, puts him in the standing recliner, beats his ass. This was to further the story between Duke and Chase, which I feel is going to be a spectacular story to tell when they finally get to it. I like the way they're building that too. That's going to be my second favorite story right now, next to the hit Kiana. But after the match, Melo calls out Braun. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Braun said, you know, I don't want the title no more. Fuck y'all. Fuck the title. And then Melo says, I know you don't want it, but I want it. Me and you in Battleground. Braun comes out again, spears the shit out of Trick, gives Melo his finisher, and puts Trick in the standing recliner. I was cheering, and I think some crowd in the PC was too.
I was like, this shit heat, brother. And then when he put fucking Melo through that fucking wall, I said, it's so lit. We're so back.
That's how you do it. I think that the story you want to tell here is that Braun, when he's trying to be nice, he gets taken advantage of. But when he wants to be that beast, that pit bull, look how easy it was for him to take out Melo and Trick. And I think that's the story going into it. You need to play up to this as Melo going against someone that is bigger and stronger than him, and now has the adversity to do that. He's too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's biting him in the ass. And I think that, again, you need to give us some adversity. You need to make us feel bad for Melo. And I think for the first time, Cyrus, I felt bad for him at the end of this.
Yes. And I'm going to need Trick. I'm really going to need you to sell that spear, bro. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you for a very long time, my brother.
I feel like Trick needs to be told to stay in the back when they have that match in Massachusetts.
What I need next week is for Melo to be out there by himself, cutting a promo, speaking like a normal person, being like, what you did to Trick was not fucking cool, bro. I'm gonna put you on a t-shirt or whatever stupid catchphrases lingo that he wants to use. But I need him to be like, you know, try to bring more sympathy for what happened to Trick Williams.
It feels like somebody's actually writing this now.
Yes.
It feels like someone's actually writing this story now, and it's not Trick and Braun writing the story. And I'm okay with it. I thought that this was extremely effective, and for where it was in the show was really good too, because we were able to kind of move the story forward and have it take up a lot of segments on the show with you know, Trick and not Trick, but Braun and Chase having a match, and Melo and Waller having a multi-segment match. It took up a lot of the show this week.
Yeah. Excuse me. But I do think that this, like I said at the start, you know, this is a step in the right direction where, you know, the car is no longer swerving. It's slightly drifting a little bit as we get into this next match. Main event, Indy Hartwell versus Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez. There was a little botches, you know, Twitter gravitated towards that. I'm gonna bias, if you want to say that, but I'm gonna give them leeway because this is developmental.
Yeah, I think I also feel as though while we can give them a little bit, while we can give them a little bit of leeway here, because yes, it is developmental. I still
Mhm.
think that when you're in the ring with someone like Roxanne, you need to really step the shit up, because one thing
Yes.
I noticed in this triple threat is that she is light years ahead of both of them, and it's not even close. I think that she is just. I'm a huge fan, bro. Like, I'm a huge fan of Roxanne
Yes.
Perez, and I think that she moves fast. She's crisp, and that move in particular, it was like, come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's giving y'all what it is. It's like her mind was moving on like calculus, and they was still in like algebra one. You know what I'm saying? It was like their mind couldn't process what she was doing, and that's not a good thing.
I think for Tiffany Stratton, who we have seen is very athletic. Like she gets it. And she also earlier, I think it was like on Busted Open Radio, she was just like, I would like to spend some more time in NXT, kind of get my bearings. Really plant my feet into this whole thing. Roxanne was doing a lot of stuff that you would kind of like see on the indies.
Mm-hmm.
And that's brand new to her.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't think Tiffany Stratton has really wrestled anybody that kind of had that sort of like lucha influence.
Yeah, it's when it was and Tiffany in that ring together, I was wondering why we weren't just watching that, and then we could have just had a number one
Yes.
match there. um, I am not a fan, Cyrus, of the way that they are booking Indy to keep having these
I
kind of sleazy, cheesy wins, and
yes. You you have this thing where Indy Hartwell is coming out there last week. She comes out there confident, just being like, you think that you could really beat me? Let's see how this fucking goes. Like, I'm really about to show you what I'm about. And then you just dance around or don't have her have strong definitive wins. And I feel like, in a triple threat, whatever, it's always going to be like, I just didn't want the 2K finish,
yeah,
or is just like, okay, you did your finisher, I'm going to throw you out and then pin them,
yeah,
or like, follow up with mine. Like,
and then you
and
pin
then Roxanne,
then you pin Roxanne.
the face put in the face on the dirt.
It's just
How does Roxanne come back from that?
well, you do the chase. Um,
No, but like it could have just been Tiffany, and then she has to eat her words, and that's way more satisfying than Roxanne just being like, well,
what
it was a
Tiffany?
hard fought.
The reason you do that is so Tiffany can get the one on one if she wants it, because she never got pinned. So
But does
you
she
told
win when
us.
she gets that 1-on-1? Because if Indy doesn't get a nut, like, oh.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like it, but booking wise, we've seen this before, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Roxanne, yeah, like Roxanne gets pinned because she never got the match that where she lost the title. So now it's official. It's even. She's lost it officially
Yes.
at this point. She's officially lost the title. Tiffany can still be on her way. Roxanne could do the core thing again. You could do Lyra. You could do anything. I'm just a fan of seeing Roxanne have matches with anybody right now. That
Mm-hmm.
like I think that she could they can make it work. But you do risk that you risk the you run the risk, right, of the fans turning on Indy for looking like a weak champion and turning on Roxy for being a loser. And that's where I have a problem, because I think that if they start turning on Roxy, you've made a mistake at that point.
Yes. If they start like, oh my god, if they just like start chanting loser, she starts getting booed when she says she wants to pursue the title again, some shit like that. Like, we have gone astray. Like, this has
Yes.
gone very, very, very wrong. Um, I know I'm definitely reaping what I sow, saying that I wish, hoping that Indy wins at Stand and Deliver, but this is absolutely not how I imagine this happening.
And it
I
doesn't look like she's getting called up either. So
Yeah, like when I said she was gonna win, in my vision, it was just her climbing the fucking ladder. There was no Dexter Loomis. She was very involved in the match, blah, 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 this and that. As a champion, it was just like, let's see how this goes. I was not picturing her having these weak finishes that doesn't make her look definitive, like a definitive champion, or like, strong. Like the roll up with Zoe Stark. Especially if Zoe Stark's already on her way out. Why are you doing a roll up? Do whatever the fuck your finisher is.
Yeah, she should be on the way out. I'm no Zoe this week either. So
yeah, there's no Zoe this week. So it was just like you could have really beat Zoe Stark definitively, and then once she gets called up, who the fuck is even gonna remember that she lost to Indy clean? She's in a whole new stratosphere. I guess they can do the Tiffany just being like, well, you didn't pin me, pussy.
I feel like that's the battleground match.
Hopefully it's good. Because clearly Tiffany's not a general and Indy is not that great enough to be that ring general. So I hope they are practicing right now in the PC.
Pray for them.
Yeah, and then whatever live shows that they're gonna have, you practice there as well. I practice, fucking practice. But yeah, next match, Obi Femi. That was brand name, Femi. Right? Yeah,
Femi, Oba Femi, or not Femi, not Obi.
Okay, Ona Femi.
Yeah.
Heat.
Big black.
Like what I see.
Big black nigga. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much I can say. It was a good squash.
I like what I saw so far. I like his look already. I don't know much about his background. I don't recall commentary saying he was like part of football or anything like that. He looked like a football nigga. But I think that was a really good thing there. Let's see what the character is. I feel like the first character that he get is going to be really stinky. And then we're just going to have to deal with that.
I want to see the lawyer nigga. I'm wondering when the lawyer nigga is going to...
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Wasn't on TV. It was something that happened just for the crowd, just stall for time. They were very receptive to it.
I want the lawyer gimmick now. The lawyer nigga versus Tony D. Tell me, who says no?
He finding out his money laundering schemes, bro.
Exactly.
We just get a wire ass storyline.
NXT Court would be fire. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all that, so that should be cool. Scripps responds to Axiom, and what looks like a Mortal Kombat mythology cutscene
type shit.
That boy.
Take that mask off that nigga, man. Come on, man. Let's get it over with. Next week, Scripps versus Axiom, though.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like John Wick, nigga.
Scripps, Reggie, I'm not doubting their athletic prowess or anything like that. It's just the characters are not fire, bro. I think the match is going to be really good. Axiom says that, like, you're not going to be, my supervillain or whatever. You're not going to be my foil. None of that. I definitely think that Scripps will be. Like, I do see them being like, that's going to be his rival. And I have no problem with that.
Axiom need to get called up. I need to see Axiom versus Ricochet ASAP.
Yeah. Him, Gable, him, Riddle, him, Ricochet. I'll be looking forward to all that. But we'll see what happens with that. And then Gigi Dolan responds to JC Jane, just saying, we're going to fight next week, and my little brother's going to be in the crowd, and JC Jane is most likely going to beat the shit out that little
She about to cost that nigga. She about to be like, what's popping, Lenny?
Oh, nah.
Right.
That's sister-in-law, bro.
Show you some real shit. Yeah. Hey.
Insane. I think that nigga is like 16.
Juicy hands. It's Florida, nigga. Juicy hands.
Oh, that is a crazy response to that.
Florida, nigga. Y'all done worse. Go ahead.
We're gonna get Wesley versus Drew Gulak next week as well. And Tyler Bate is gonna be in Wesley's corner.
Hard.
I don't know how I necessarily feel about Drew Gulak and Charles Dempsey, especially if they keep losing. But I think it's a cool pairing. I would love to see the tag match as well. Also, Tyler Bate is a motherfucker that needs to go. That motherfucker's in Wesley's corner because he's bored.
He's in his corner because they don't want to have him beat, and they don't want to beat him, and he can't beat anyone because he's like so advanced. You can't like because again, look at all the champions right now. They're like really developmental kind of stars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Tyler Bate don't really need that title. That's not what that title is for anymore. You know what I mean? It's not for the indie guy or like the super experienced guy. It's the same reason I feel like what's her name? Kaylee Ray. Alba Fire didn't get it either. You know what I mean? She's too advanced for that shit. She's way past that. So hopefully he does get called up and you know they have a send off next week or something like that.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Excuse me. We already talked about Sol Ruka getting attacked. There's too many women to really be guessing because it could be somebody brand fucking new.
You gotta start fucking
just got to be real.
Gotta start naming niggas. Like it's just like, was it like, Zion Quinn did it? I don't know.
I'm Drisky Hannon guessing that, but they might cost Danny Palmer her debut, and then we'll see who it is. Schism versus Gallus as well, and then if the Dyad or Schism loses, they'll never have another tag team match as long as Gallus. And it was just like, this is the all right. Come on, bro. Do you really want to leave?
That I think that tweet is deeper than rap. That tweet is deeper than rap.
That nigga said, "Y'all not gonna give it to us." I'm looking forward to being a free agent. That's it. We're like, what?
I feel like we're gonna write them off and then have them chill until October. Honestly.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, that'd be the worst case scenario for them niggas.
Yeah. Chill at home.
Get paid. Yeah. Then we get Ilya Dragunov is attacked by Dijak, and I said, yeah, this match is cut.
And it was. Yeah, I felt like there was way too many matches. 6 was the good limit for this show. You should save that for the opening of a takeover. You know what I mean? And have that rock. I shudder at Dijak losing, but I feel like he's in like the Chris Hero role here where he just has banger matches with everybody and just enjoys his job. So I'm cool with them saving this for a bigger time. How violent can they get on the USA Network? You think they're gonna save it for that?
I feel like it might main event next week. I'm not even gonna lie.
There's a lot of matches for next week already.
Yeah. Then they could save it. They could probably just do Dijak just being like, oh, you saw what I did to him. That motherfucker done. He ain't never coming back, pussy. And then
I would announce it for Battleground, and then next week you kind of have that match start. I would give them the interview, like the contract signing. To me, that's like the bigger. Yeah, everyone wants to see this match. Like it's gonna be a banger.
NXT Battleground. When is that happening?
It's the same day as Double or Nothing.
So May 28th. Same day as Double or Nothing. Same time too, right? I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I know what I'm going with that night.
There's some sick niggas for doing that, yo, for sure. Because
the counter programming is real.
Yeah, they cocky. They some cocky niggas, bro. I'm telling you.
And I'm okay with that. Especially like even if like the viewership, if the viewership is gonna be quote unquote bad, I feel like people are gonna watch both. Like it's a Saturday night, they'll probably have both streams pulled up.
It's like having two playoff games happening. So
yeah, I can see. Well, like, you know, it's on Peacock, so it's not like they're really worried about like viewership numbers. They just want the shit over with.
Yeah, the viewer's already baked in, so it's really just about like who's gonna watch it and who's gonna tune in. I think again
for NXT at least.
War. Yeah, the Saturday Night War is the first time they've gone head to head. It's just a matter of what's gonna open the show and what's gonna take your eyes away from it. And I think that's gonna be the interesting thing that night when it happens. Like, do you open with the Melo and Braun match to get people to watch that or what? So it's gonna be cool. I wonder if there's gonna be actual main roster talent on that show too to get people to tune in because they've done that.
Yeah,
they've been doing that.
Who would you like to see be on that takeover this time around?
I mean, who's not doing anything? You know what I mean? Like, it has to be somebody that's not doing anything, right? And after the draft, we'll have a clearer view of that because it'll be like,
Yeah, you're right.
that's the week. That's like what the day. It's a Sunday. It's the day after the Saudi show. So whoever doesn't go to Saudi is probably gonna be able to be on that show.
Yeah, whoever's not going to Saudi will probably be like on the show like 2 weeks before. Honestly, they might be on the show next week. Shit, who knows?
Exactly. They got to start building to that show. There's only after this week is 4 weeks. So.
Well, that wraps it up for us. Everything is in the show notes. You can follow us on YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter. Everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. You know where to follow OG Johnny 5 on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, Cyrus on TWR. You can follow the A Show account, the A Show RNC on Twitter, and then patreon.com/the A Show RNC, where you can just you can subscribe, show your support, show your love. The premium, the real allure is at $20 tier, baby.
And you get a special episode of Spot Callers where we review ECW's first pay-per-view, Barely Legal 97. So that's also a good incentive. Got the Retro Diaries, got the Rewriters Room that is returned, got the A Show, of course. I'll be back next week on there, and Quan will be back on this show. So thanks for letting me fill in for Quan this week. Hopefully we can do this again someday. I feel like I wish it was a better episode of AEW, but I feel as though there hasn't been one in a very long time. So
yeah, I think like the last time that we did the show together, it was like the episode wasn't really like, it wasn't that bad. Like it was serviceable. This one was very puzzling, as it normally is, but it is what it is.
But yeah,
you just asked a lot of questions and nothing makes sense. But all right, peace out, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. Peace.